Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Shrimp Fried Rice podcast. Long time no see, guys, and my deepest apologies. I feel guilty all the time not doing this podcast, which should be the easiest thing to do because I just need to take 1 hour out of my week to do this, and I made it as easy as possible. I don't have to edit anything. All I do is like cut and dry, raw, unfiltered podcast. And I did it that way because my streams are that way, and it makes it easier for me to get my thought processes out since I have ADHD. And if I do cut it, you're just gonna hear a lot of because I say a lot. But it's been a whirlwind of stress and emotions and craziness, I'd say, in my life. And I originally had this podcast idea last year, and I'm always in my head of why I can't do it, or so many things I needed to get done before I could do a podcast, and I didn't have the right background and whatever. And now I just didn't have the time. And even if I had the time, I just didn't have the emotional availability or energy in me to do this. And I just feel like I need to do everything that I can to try to get my feelings and everything out there because I want to make it. And if God gave me this idea, you know, I gotta just keep doing it. I can't just keep passing on it. And if this isn't something he wants me to do, then it's not meant for me. But I feel like I have to do it to an extent just because no matter every time I think about wanting to do this, I get so distracted and then I don't have the time. And I just feel like that's just something that happens when something's good for you, you know, you should be doing, but you know, you get those distractions so it doesn't get done. So I'm sitting here today making the time to do it. I have to go to work in like an hour or so we got an hour of time. We got the shrimp merch going on. We got the fried fall damaged shrimp over here with the logo, and we got the tie-dyed shirt. They're both embroidered, very nice quality. I'm kind of impressed with Fourth Wall's quality. I'd say it's worth the money. I'm not trying to convince y'all you don't gotta buy my merch, but I will say it is pricey for a reason. I don't make that much money off of it. Between like $1 to $3 to $5 max I'll make from anything. And I know this shirt itself is the most expensive thing I think that's in it. And it's because number one, it's like thick, right? It's got like a thick material, and it's tie-dyed and it's baggy, which I love. Got the shrimp symbol here, and it's embroidered. So, and I worked with them for a while, like going back and forth with their like design team to make sure like it came out the way I wanted to, because like in my logo, like you can see here and here, it's double printed. Like it's not just one color, it's like neon lights, you know, and that's how I wanted it. And so they did a good job trying to figure out how to make it work. So I appreciate it. You know, seeing a design that you do in Procreate all by hand and then coming out on material clothing is crazy. But anyways, I had to rep it. I got it in the mail before my vacation in March, and I just wanted to show you guys. A lot has been going on in my life. As you know, I've not had the time to podcast or like the mental availability because of working 2 jobs and everything that's been going on in my life outside of work. It's been hard for me. You know, I been through so much in my life, and I feel like I'm lost and I don't know what to do. And I feel like everything that I've gone through in my life is for a reason. You know, I've grown in my faith, especially in the past few months, but over the years. And I feel like I went through everything that I went through, so it can help other people. Now, I physically may not be there to help you guys, but I think that because I've gone through so much, like from abuse, verbal and physical, to allergies that I've been healed from, to back issues I've been healed from. I had ankle reconstruction surgery. I tore my ACL. That took a couple years to heal, but I'm fine. And I had the surgery, and same thing. I tore my meniscuses in both my knees, and I'm healed from that too. And I tore them 3 times in the past year. So I just have gone through so much, and like that's like a brief summary. And at least like the past 10 years, if not my entire life, facing homelessness, working 3 jobs and going to school full time, growing up poor, you know, like I have been through not everything, but just a lot. And I feel like, if anything, all of my struggles that I've faced, you know, and all of my regrets in my life, even though I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, I feel like I wouldn't change anything. And I feel like that's an insane thing to say with all the struggles I've endured. But with how much faith that I have, because I've had it grown, I feel like I just know that I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't go through it. And even though being depressed and anxious and suicidal and having dark thoughts for years, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, and I would never want to go through that again. But if I had to go through it all again, every struggle I had in my life, to be where I am today, in this exact moment, I would do it, because I know that God has a bigger plan for me. And I don't know what it is, but I just know that I am here to serve as an example of God's work in my life. And maybe it will help others have more faith in whatever they're going through in theirs, whatever that may be. And I know it's a dark world and there's so much going on, and it doesn't make any sense, but I feel like nothing makes any sense, and you just don't need to think about it. Like my whole life, I feel like I pushed away blessings and miracles that could have happened sooner if I would have just taken the time and prayed and given it up to God and had my full faith in Him. And I'd never really believed, like, I believed in miracles. I just never really believed that it would happen for me. And for years, I don't think I really prayed to all the things that were happening in my life. I never thought they could go away because I was trying to be logical about it. I was just listening to whatever doctors had to say, and the logical like parts of things that would not make sense. Like, you know, like my back won't be healed. It's either it's going to get bigger and we have to remove the cysts, or it's going to shrink and hopefully not bother you. Never thought that they would just go away. Like, didn't think that was an option, you know? I just prayed for whatever to happen because I wanted them out of me because I was in so much pain, like, and I was struggling. But I never thought, let me just pray for it to go away. Even though my mom said it a bunches of times, I never really just was like, yeah, you know what, I'll do that. I was just like, whatever. Like, this is it. This is my situation. It is what it is. So stupid. But anyways, I recently just posted a video on my TikTok about it. I feel like as I'm changing in my faith, I'm changing as a person, and I explained in this video, which you can see on my TikTok, and I'm posting it on my YouTube now. If you watch it, it's like 26 minutes long, but I just feel like I'm torn between like two sides of who I am and who I was and who I'm becoming. Maybe that's three sides, not two, but I want to be more of a Christian person. I'm not going to say I'm not a Christian person, but I've never really displayed my faith. I've never really had confidence in that. I've always, for some reason, been embarrassed or scared or worried what other people would think, or maybe scared that people are going to think my views are skewed, because I know Christianity is really paired with a unfortunate government right now. Like, and I feel like I want to take it back, you know, like I want to take back the meaning of being a Christian. Like, I don't think that people who are skewing it should be allowed to use it the wrong way, and that the people that are Christian should be hiding because they're scared of people thinking we're going to be viewed as those same people, because those people are giving it a bad name. And it's taken me a long time, years to figure that out. And I'm not scared of hiding anymore. I just feel like I don't know, I always been like influenced by other people around me and what they have to think, and I just cared so much about what others saw about me, and I don't know why I really thought that this would be something people wouldn't like in me, because I think it's the best part of me. It's been hard to talk about. It's easy to talk about right now because nobody's there. Well, you will be, but you know, not until I upload this. But I'm praying now to have confidence to speak about what I went through, because God didn't just heal me to heal me. I think he healed me so other people can know that God is still there and working in people's lives and performing miracles. Like, I always thought miracles were just like in the Bible. Like, this is what happened when Jesus came. He did those miracles. God did those miracles for those people. Even though I saw it happen in my grandmother's life and heard stories, I never really thought like my situation would be comparable. Like, I never thought my situation was like that bad. You know, even though it was bad, like I never thought I deserved it, especially for all the stupid things I did in my life. But how great is our God, you know? Like, that's exactly what the point of, you know, Jesus coming back, saving us for our sins, or coming and saving for our sins. And I think that if you look back at all those people who have had miracles in their lives, they're just regular people. And I saw those show The Chosen, and it just opened my eyes more. You know, like, seeing those people were not the perfect people. Not all of them were Christians. I mean, some of them didn't have faith, and then they had miracles performed in their lives, and then they just told the world God's miracles. And I think that's just my job now. Like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to do more to do that. Which is, you know, a new thing for me, and it's scary, even though it shouldn't be. Like, my name is not allergic to shrimp, because, you know, I used to be allergic to shrimp, and that was my name, allergic to shrimp. And then I had an identity crisis because that's who I have been my whole life. So I changed it to not allergic to shrimp. And over the couple years of streaming, I've gotten nicknames. You know, everyone calls me Shrimp. It's just easier. And I've gotten Aquatic Queen, like a bunch of things, right? And I've debated about changing my name because, you know, people would ask me, like, are you not allergic to shrimp? And of course I'd be like, no, I'm not anymore. And how many times that I've been scared to explain why I'm not allergic to shrimp, because so many people in my real life have, and online have, kind of put me down and been like, well, that's what happens. Your body changes every 7 years. Well, why was I allergic my whole life with severe allergies? And then I'm like 25 years old and it goes away. And that's why I explained in my video. It's like, all right. And then I started to kind of believe it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe this is like some sort of crazy scientific phenomenon. You know, doctors didn't even believe it either. And I kind of wavered in my faith for a bit. But then last year, my back was healed. You know, after so many years of struggling with back issues and struggling to get out of bed every day, struggling to get dressed, struggling to walk, struggling to hold things because I had weakness and numbness in my hands, struggling to just live, struggling to go to work, having trouble driving, having trouble doing every single small task that you don't even think of a small task because your brain is so wired to doing it every single day. I struggled with for years, and now that is gone. Praise the Lord. Like, and you can't deny that. No one can say that that is because of anything other than God, because it's true. And I can confidently say that my allergies are gone for the same reason. It's just not possible without God. So, you know, last night I've been trying to pray and have more confidence, and I'm playing games, and, you know, I'm playing Super Battle Golf, which is pretty fun. And, you know, someone's like, are you not allergic to shrimp? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I've been healed. I've been praying, you know? And then someone's like, oh, what's it called? Like, and I was like, miracles. And then he's like, no, it's called something when people don't believe in science and doctors. And immediately I got that like achy, sinking feeling, because I'm just like that's, and that's how I just keep feeling like this weird, like I don't know how to explain that feeling every time I've explained it. And that's why I've always like struggled with having my username, because like just hearing the people not believe what I'm saying, it just like makes me not want to say it. And it's so stupid because I should just be saying it all the time. And it doesn't matter what people think. I always don't care what people think with everything in my life, except for my whole life. It's always been an issue with my faith in Christianity. And my goal is to like get over that. There's nothing that should stop me, because these are my stories and what's happened in my life, and you can't tell me anything different because these are my lived experiences. Like, that is a fact. Like, you can't change that because this is what I went through. And you can ask my family and everyone who's been around me, like, they know that this is something crazy that's happened in my life, and it's a miracle. Many miracles have happened in my life, and I'm so grateful for it. So, you know, I kind of shut down for a bit because I got that feeling again, and I was just like I kind of froze up, and, you know, I've been thinking about it all morning, and I'm like, man, like, it would have been just so easy to be like just to explain, like, I listen to doctors and I listen to science my whole life, and all they did was put me down and say it is what it is, and they thought it was fact. Okay? That's what I believed in my whole life. But when I took a step back and I stopped believing in what doctors had to say and what science was telling me, what was going on in my body, and I prayed and I believed in a miracle could happen in my life, and I kept praying and I kept praying, and I believed that it would happen one day, and I don't care what doctors have to say. I don't care what people in my life have to say. I don't care what anybody would have to say. I just knew that it was possible. That's when I was healed. Finally, after all these years of struggling, my throat closing and not going out to eat. And every time I would go to someone's house, my throat would close. Walk into a room, someone's cooking fish, my throat would close. Someone would grab my arm after eating fish. A few hours later, I'd have a handprint on my arm and hives up to my throat. EpiPens on me at all times because of fish and shellfish. I couldn't have anything with Red 40 because my throat would close. It's not just fish that I was healed from. It was allergies to Red 40. I couldn't have any candy. I couldn't have any processed foods for years. Not that it's good for you, but I couldn't buy anything easy. And everywhere I went, I had to make sure that everything I was eating was pure. A lot of the times I had to eat vegan or I had to eat kosher because I didn't know what was going in our food. I couldn't have a red apple at school because my throat would close, and I've been healed. And I found out, why is Red 40 in our red apples? It's crazy. I was also lactose intolerant. I have been healed of that too. I don't have my almond allergy anymore. I used to be allergic to chlorine. Every time I go into a pool, I'd have hives head to toe. I couldn't go swimming for years. I was scared to swim in the ocean for years because of how bad my fish allergy was. And now I can. My back is healed. I can lift weight. I could never lift more than 10 pounds. From 2018 to, from the end of 2018 to 2025, I couldn't do that to the August 2025. I couldn't lift more than 10 pounds. Now I'm lifting over 100 pounds at work, 150 pounds some days. I'm helping out my aunt. I'm picking her up off the floor because she fell. It kind of hurt my back a little bit for a day, but I was just really sore. But still, me and my brother picked her up. And I would have never been able to do that. I mean, she's fine. Thank God. She just got some bruises. But anyways, she's 90 years old, but I've been helping her by cooking for years, but now I can cook with ease, I can do so many things. I've been hiking, and it's just so simple, just getting out of bed and not feeling pain, getting out of bed and not feeling numbness. I'm so blessed and thankful for these miracles in my life, and this is my story, and I'm not going to be scared to shout it from the rooftops anymore, and I don't care what anyone thinks. And I was always scared of what people would think of me, and I don't know why. And I don't care if I lose people in my life because of this. And I know it's weird. Why would you lose people? Because people don't believe in this. People don't believe that God is real or God can perform miracles. Or why are you worthy of that? And there's wars going on and people are starving and dying in the streets. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm not saying I know it all. All I know is I'm surrendering my life to God, and I gave my life up to Jesus, and I'm not taking it back, and I'm going to walk in his path, and that's it. And I'm going to try to be a better Christian. And I feel like I have to tell everybody, that's why I have a platform at this point. And I feel like I reflected a lot with what happened with me last year, and being unemployed was the best thing for me because I got to heal mentally and emotionally, physically, spiritually. And then I started working, and even though I don't get paid enough working at the ice rink, it is a testimony to my healing, because this is my first job I've worked in years that I'm able to lift 100 pounds, and I'm doing it because I'm healed. And I didn't even think it was possible. I remember getting hired for that job, and I was like, I'm going to have to quit, Mom. He wants me to lift cast iron hockey nets. How am I going to, he throws it on his shoulder and walks it off the ice. How am I going to do that? And Mom's like, just pray about it. Just find a way. And I pray Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I pray God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, give me the strength. And I get it on and off the ice every single time without pain. Not easy, but without pain, not hurting myself. And I'm doing it. I have the strength to do it. I'm getting stronger each and every day. Got little little muscles going, you know, like I never was able to work my upper body. I gained a bunch of weight because I couldn't do any like abdominal workouts, any back workouts, because it was so delicate of a situation. Like the only thing I could do was walking and biking until I tore my meniscuses, and then I was goofed like for all of last year. But working at the hospital job, if anything, I hope I helped people. And I know I did, because I got some thank yous from some patients' families. And I kind of made some change within the hospital, at least in my department. But it was a fight every single day with my coworkers, with my managers, with my coordinator. It was really a struggle to show up to work, and it was a high pressure job, and they weren't doing things morally correct. Even if it is okay in the hospital, it's just not okay with me. And every single day I worked there, I prayed before I get into work, and I'd pray after I leave, and I'd come home sobbing because I knew people were being mistreated, and I reported everything I could, and I didn't have confidence to do it a lot of the times. And it was just, my job was getting harder, my life was getting harder, I was struggling mentally and emotionally, and I was in a really dark place because I needed this job. I needed this job so bad. I prayed for it so hard. I literally, like, instead of me praying really hard that I would make it in streaming, because my logical brain was like, no, it's not possible to be, you know, Twitch partner, because you look at your analytics, you don't have as much views, and you've been trying it for 6 months. If it would have worked, it would have worked by now. Instead of me praying for another miracle and saying, you know, I pray for more viewers and subscribers and followers to become Twitch partner, I was just like, all right, well, this is the end of the road. Let me just pray for a job, because this is it. I did my course, like, and I should have just kept my faith in that. And, you know, maybe I'm prolonging my blessings. Maybe it's not in the right season. Maybe it's all in God's time. Maybe that was what I needed to do, because working at the hospital made me grow my faith, because now I was praying twice a day, every day, where before I stopped doing that for so long. So everything happens for a reason. I don't want to pick apart my life, but I quit my hospital job in February, and I'm working still less than part-time hours at the ice rink. And I was barely making it each week with those 2 jobs. And I really don't know how I'm getting by right now, but it's only through the grace of God. And I have no savings, and I have massive credit card debt, massive student loan debt, a lot of medical bills, and I'm just barely paying everything right now. It's been it's been over a month I've been unemployed, you know, like this ice rink job is barely keeping me sustained. I'm scared I'm going to run out of money before I make it big, but I know in my heart that I have to stay still, because for so much of my life, all of my life, I've just been going to the next job and the next job and the next job, trying to find something better and better and better. And every single job has gotten progressively worse and worse and worse. I have not once been happy at any job I've ever worked at. And each employer I've worked for, each boss has gotten nastier and meaner, and the work has gotten more and more difficult, whether it's mentally or physically, emotionally. And the pay is garbage each time. And it doesn't matter that I have 3 degrees. It doesn't matter that I have 15 years of job experience. It doesn't matter that I've diversified myself in all of the jobs I've worked at, and I've worked managerial positions. It doesn't matter that I speak 3 languages. It doesn't matter that I'm an active community member, that I volunteered in the fire department. It doesn't matter that I help people and I care for people. It doesn't matter what I've done in my life. It has not worked out. It doesn't matter how hard I tried, because I tried to make it work. No matter all the things I thought that I needed to do, because I thought these were the career paths, it didn't work out, because I didn't have faith, and I didn't have God in my life the way I should have. So all of these seasons of my life that didn't work out, whether it was because of my physical disabilities that I had, my emotional disabilities, my faith being wavering, it all happened for a reason. And here I am today. Everything, all roads have led me here today. And I believe in my heart wholeheartedly, this has to be the job for me. Whether it's podcasting or making clips from the podcast or doing Twitch streaming or content creation from my clips or just vlogging my real life, whatever that is, I just know one of them or all of them have to be something that makes me money and is my career path. And if it's not, somehow, some way, I'm going to find a new career path with doing all of these things because God has a plan for me. And I don't want to walk in my path anymore. I want to walk in his. That's how I feel. Because my path didn't get me anywhere but stress, headache, heartache. And now it's my time to work in his time. And I told my mom when I was going to quit my job, this is the first time in my life that I don't have a backup plan. I don't have any savings. I don't have anything but my faith because I know I have to be still because I was never still to listen to what he had to say or to let him work. And if I would have just done that a few months ago, instead of getting the hospital job, you know, maybe I would already have made it. But with that being said, I needed that hospital job to help me grow in my faith and to open my eyes and see like what closed those doors before. You know, I always had that in the back of my head. Maybe I could still be a doctor. Doesn't matter all the physical things I went through. Maybe that's something that was still an option because that's what I always wanted to do when I was younger. But after seeing all these doctors and nurses and medical staff change the rules for patient care because of what an insurance company is telling them, it made me sick. Every day and every night, I was having night terrors. I wasn't eating. I was gaining weight. I wasn't sleeping. I was stressed all the time. I was worried. I wasn't myself anymore because I knew it was not okay what they were doing to these people. They were sending them to rehabs when they shouldn't be sent there. They're having open heart surgery and being sent home the same day. They had gotten infections in the hospital because people aren't following protocols, and then they're sending them out with the serious infections post-op to a rehab facility because the insurance company only gives them 1 to 3 days in the hospital, and they're like, get out of here. I was so sick, and I would fight for these people, and then they would call us crying on the phone saying they didn't get the medical equipment that the nurse ordered for them. And then you go into the notes in the chart and the nurse never ordered it for them. And they're waiting days without oxygen because someone messed up and no one's taking responsibility. And I'm doing the best that I can to help them. And it's not even my department. And then I'm getting yelled at by my coordinator saying to get off the phone because I had nothing to do with it. And then I'm trying to tell supervisors, and the supervisors don't want to get involved because they already left the hospital and they're saying it's not their problem. They need to follow up with their regular doctor. Well, God knows when they can get an appointment for their regular doctor, and they haven't had oxygen in almost a week. They're going to end up back up in the hospital. And after pleading with so many people in so many different departments and trying to report them for nobody wanting to do anything, finally this lady got stuff. And then she's yelling at me saying, I've talked to you so many times and you're not helping me. And I'm like, lady, I'm the only one that is helping you. No one wants to do anything around here. But you know what? I did what I could do. I hope I did everything I could have done. And I no longer work there. And I need to release those, just an exhale of, all right. It is done, and God help those people because they need a lot of it. I'm working at the ice rink 4 days a week, less than 30 hours, I think. And then I found out my male coworker who started a couple months after me is making $1 more an hour than me. Sounds familiar, right? That literally happened at the environmental job I got fired from. It's not the first time it's happened, but it just upsets me because I'm physically capable of doing everything that guy's doing. I'm an assistant manager. And I'm not making much money, and I'm doing a lot, and I'm making $1 less than him, and I don't even know why. And then I found out from my coworker, who's not an assistant manager, who doesn't go on the Zamboni, which, you know, is a risk, who doesn't do any cleaning, who just does front desk sometimes, and then the skate counter, makes just as much money as me. And that just broke me inside. Because no matter what job that I work at, I am never appreciated. And I'm not asking for a good job, pat on the back. They know I'm doing good because that's why they're scheduling me more. That's why I'm there all the time. They like the way I run things, and I run things smoothly. And yet I'm never appreciated. Like, you know what? Let me give you a raise. You're doing so good. I'm actually underpaid in general, but being just paid is just as much someone who's not an assistant manager, and then being paid less than someone who got hired after me, who isn't doing as much work as me, breaks my heart. And I've been feeling kind of like in my head, you know, these past 2 weeks, I've been a little bit down in the dumps because I'm like, I quit my other job. I'm not making that much money. My bills are coming in and I can't afford to pay them. Do I look for another job? I can't qualify for unemployment, but I did get food stamps, thank God. So that helps. So what do? I'm lost. Like, do I ask for a raise? And what if he fires me because he goes through employees all the time? Like, what if he's just like, you know what? Never mind. Sorry, that's my work alarm. What if he's like, never mind. Just don't come in anymore. That's what I'm scared of because I need the money now more than ever. And it would be great to have even $1 more an hour. It would be great to have at least $5 more an hour. Because, I mean, I think that would be what an assistant manager would make. And I did talk to him about pay when I first got hired. And he said that's all he's hiring for was $20 an hour. So knowing that 21 an hour is what my coworker's making kind of really sucks. And I don't know how to talk to him about it. I want to bring it up to him and be like, hey, I would like to get paid more. I don't know if I should be like, hey, I know he's making more money. Maybe I'll use that as a backup. Maybe I'll just be like, hey, is it possible to get paid? I don't know. I never been able to ask for a raise. Like, I've asked for raises in the past many times, and every time I've gotten shot down. So I feel like I got to pray about that, you know? And this whole week I've been like, you know, I'm not even streaming that much because there's so much going on in my home life, and I wasn't able to post as much. Like, I'm trying to post every day, then there's days I skip because I'm forgetting because there's so much going on. And then I'm just like, I have one job. Like, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be doing social media and I can't even do that right now. And I have all the free time. Like, this is like driving me crazy. But I'm here making it for the podcast, finally, because that's what's been eating away at me, that I said that I would do, like, since before the summer. I wanted to do the podcast, and I finally did it, and I'm like, it's easy. Once a week, I just, you know, do an hour or more, and there it is, and I post it, and it's just simple as that. You post it. But I haven't had the time or the energy, but I need to just make the time and have the energy. I feel like you'll never have time in your life to do anything. You have to make the time to do everything. Anyways, that's everything that's been going on in the background. Sorry, I need a water break. On top of that, I'm getting sick. My dad's sick. I have like postnasal drip right now and congestion. We're just gonna pretend like that's fine. And what else was I gonna talk about? Oh, my trip to Ireland. So, you know me, scheduling vacations and paying for them before I quit my job. That's twice already. Well, I went to Ireland for 2 weeks. I did want to go originally to Scotland and Barcelona too, which would have been a crazy fun trip. That was when I was thinking I might have some extra money because I was working a lot, working like 7 days a week at one point last year. So I was like, maybe I can actually save money and pay my bills. But no. Anyways, I gave myself a small budget of what I could spend since I already, you know, paid for hotels and paid for the flight. So I just had to, you know, be careful with the experiences I chose and the food prices that I spent to eat. And thank God I was able to do it within my means. And I had a great time. So I got there and I hung out for a day just to try not to be jet lagged. And then the next day was planned to go to Killarney. So me and my boyfriend went to Killarney for 3 days, but it was really just like 1.5 because of travel time. So we took like, I think it was 3 trains to go from Dublin to Killarney. And it was such a nice ride. Like, even though it's like transportation isn't like America in a way, like, you know, sometimes like Europe, it's like really good transportation. Like Italy, they got that speed train, which is crazy. Like you can go across the country in a couple hours and you're there, and it's cheaper than a flight sometimes. And then like Amsterdam and Rotterdam, they got trains and railways, very convenient to travel. And like New York, you got subways and trains and, you know, cars and stuff. But the only problem is in Brooklyn, you know, you can only go one direction. So it's like, if you want to go to the other side of Brooklyn, you have to go all the way to Manhattan. You have to get to Penn Station and come back through a different subway to get to the other side of Brooklyn. I wish there was like going across and that way of subways. That would have been nice. But whatever. It's fine. It just takes longer. But in Ireland, like everyone complains about transportation. Like it's like, you know, it takes a long time to get places, which it's true because the country is so small. So I'm like, bro, like to get to my sister's house, it's like 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. And like, that's basically the distance probably to get to from Dublin to like another city. But because of like the roads and stuff, like they're all windy and curvy and the old, like it takes a long time. And same thing with the train. Like I feel like it took over 4 hours by train to get there, for like almost 5 basically. We could have got there like in 1.5 hours by car. Like, so, you know, it's like give and take, but it's nice to be in a train where you don't have to think. Like you're on the train, you pay for your seats, which is nice. I like that. They don't have that here. You can, well, they do in Amtrak actually, but it's expensive. Like there, it's not that expensive to take the train. So you go across the country and you have your seat, and for the trains, to the other trains, you have to find a seat. And then you could chill, and they got Wi-Fi, they got plugs, they got bathrooms, and they're clean. It's not like America where it's dirty. People are very respectful there, and they try to keep it clean. And I wish like more people were like that here. So yeah, everyone's nice. They even have a cart, like a trolley cart that comes out with like tea and candy, like Harry Potter. I was like, oh, like where are the chocolate frogs at? It just felt like my Harry Potter moment. They don't have that on Amtrak. They don't have like a trolley cart. I think they have a like an actual cart you can get food on some of them. But like you have to go to the train car. Like this is like a lady pushing like on the airplane, you know, like I was like, this is so nice. I didn't get anything though, because we brought snacks and drinks and stuff, but I just was like, this is a cool experience. So yeah, that's cool. So I it was nice to get to see like all of like the farms. You're passing by farms and farms and farms. It's all farmlands. It's from Dublin to Killarney. So that's cool. Got to see a lot of different types of animals. And I really wanted to do Torque Waterfall. That was my like main thing. Everything else I was like, whatever. So we got the hotel at Killarney Oaks Hotel because I thought it was the cheapest and like the best distance between the little city, which is such a cute little town. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It reminds me of St. Augustine. Like it's just like a little town and you walk through the streets and it's like buildings on both sides and it's just an old town and it's all little shops and restaurants and stuff. And they got hotels too in there. But I wanted to stay further out from that town by the in-between mark of that and Killarney National Park because I didn't want it to be too far of a walking distance if we had to walk or taxi. So they do have taxis there. They'll take you back and forth. Most expensive taxi rides in my life because it's 5-minute drive to get into town or like over a 40-minute walk. And it's over $20, which is insane. Like actually insane, but they can get away with it because what else are you going to do? Walk. And same thing with from the hotel to Killarney National Park, same price. But they took us there. So it's really cool. Like Torque Waterfall, going there, super accessible. They have a parking lot if you drive and you just like walk just a little bit. The waterfall's right there. No hiking necessary. So I thought that was great because, you know, I lived with disabilities for so long. Like walking for long distances is hard. I don't remember if there were stairs, but it was steep, so I don't know how wheelchair accessible it would be, but I will say like if you can't walk that long, it was a very short walk from the parking lot to the waterfall, which is a nice scene to see. And it was very beautiful. Spent like a long time over there. And then there's stairs that lead you up the mountain, Torque Mountain, that we were trying to go up. We spent hours going up because I was having a little bit of anxiety because I felt dizzy, dude. Like I couldn't breathe because my asthma. And then I would stop and catch a breath because I'd be like, because we're 1,000 feet up and the altitude, you know, makes it a little bit hard to breathe. And we're going up and then I'm looking down and I'm getting dizzy. But my boyfriend's like, just look at the rocks. You like pretty rocks. Look at the rocks on the floor. And I'm like, you're right. So I was looking at the rocks and then I was fine. We got up as far as we could and I was just getting tired. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. But we really tried to go up the mountain to go to the top of the waterfall. But as we got further up, the sound of the water was further away. So we're like, okay, like all roads don't lead to the waterfall. So we walked back down. And we stayed by the waterfall for a bit and then we kept trying to call a taxi, but no one wanted to pick us up. Devastating because there's so many taxis in town, but like you can drop us off to the waterfall. You can't pick us back up. Come on. But maybe it's because they know we're probably soaking wet because number one, it was raining all day. We were drenched head to toe. And number two, you get kind of wet by the waterfall. Not much, but it's just a little bit of mist. And I was wearing like 3 layers of clothes plus 2 coats and a raincoat on top of that. And I wore a bathing suit underneath because I was like, if there's sunshine and rainbows, we're jumping in the waterfall. But also, like, I don't mind wearing like bathing suit instead of like underwear because at least if you're getting drenched from a waterfall, like it's like a different material. Like it's not like cotton. So it's like weird. So I'm just happy, like we did it. And then we're like, great, now we have to walk home and we're tired from our hike. But we took the scenic route and we saw Muckross Abbey. I think it's called. It's like a old estate, and it's a big estate. It's huge. We're walking across the back lawn of it, and we're like, oh, we kind of wanted to see that anyway. It's a museum. So we're getting dried off. Now the sun's coming out. And we're like, oh, this is where the sun is. Nice. We're getting dried off by the wind and the sun. We finally make it up to the estate, and I was like, I see bathrooms. I can finally use a bathroom. And then we're like trying to figure out, should we go inside? It's €18. I'm like, look, I wouldn't mind going into this old house. It's historic, but I'm drenched right now and I'm just not feeling it. Like, you know, if we want to go tomorrow, that's another thing. But right now, it's just like not like, I really don't want to walk around somebody's house right now. Especially if they have like old carpet. Like, we're probably muddy. So we use the bathroom. Then I see like 3 people having tea in their hands. And I'm like, hey, like, where did you get that? Because we're cold. Is there like a coffee shop nearby or something? Because I didn't see it on my map. And this guy's like, yeah, like just go all the way over there. There's like at the end of the parking lot. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now we're walking for like over an hour at this point. It's from the waterfall to Muckross Abbey. And then through the parking lot, it's actually a visitor center. And we're like, ah, like we can get hot tea and a snack. We didn't have any lunch. And it was like probably like 3, almost 4 o'clock by then, because we're just walking for hours. And we wanted to get back before lunch. We just had like a scone and hot tea and coffee, and they had like shops there. And I was like, oh, I can do like gift shopping now. So I got some gifts. I got this little guy, which I wanted to get the past couple times I went, and he's just a little sheep. He's a little guy, and he went viral on TikTok. This little Baba, and I put him over here next to my Labubu and my Reuben and my other little trinkets and delights I got from round 1, and I got this one from a blind box from Pop Mart, and same thing with this one. So I was like, yes, he will go here. And then Pumpkin went nuts over these guys. I don't know what's up with cats and wool, but she was licking him. And then she made him all of his wool come out. Like he's all kind of like, I don't know, all the hairs, you can't really see it, but he's all of his little hairs are sticking out now. So I was like trying to like twist it back up, but I probably need a needle to like put him back in. So now he's just on the shelf next to me because Pumpkin was going nuts for him. But anyways, they had a little Guinness store, and I got a hat, which is not here right now. I think it's in my car because I was using it while gardening, and got some gifts for my family. And anyways, from there was Wi-Fi. And I was like, okay, let me get back on the Wi-Fi, because like the service was bad. Even though I paid for phone service out there, like we were in the middle of the woods, it was not good. So I was like, let me get the Wi-Fi on. Let me see if I can call a taxi, because like this is a visitor center. Like maybe it's more likely they'll pick us up. Dude, thank God. It took like 15 minutes, but this guy came, and we're like, bless up, brother. Like, thanks for coming to get us. And he picked us up, brought us back to the hotel, and had the warmest, hottest shower of my life. And I was like, yes, I needed this. I had mud everywhere. Like dude, this hike wasn't that treacherous, but because of the rain, it was like splashing and whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then we realized, well, now all of our clothes are wet. How are we supposed to go out to dinner tonight? So we called down, plus we were freezing because we were outside in the cold, wet all day. So we asked them to put the heat on because the heat wasn't on. And luckily there's like radiators there. Don't recommend doing this because it could start a fire, you know, gotta have that fire safety, as, you know, someone who took fire science, you know. But we had to warm our clothes, so we put all of our coats and stuff on the radiator, which didn't get dry. But by the time that we went out to dinner, it was like kind of damp. So what we did was, I was like, I'm not bringing my jackets. I'm going out in a hoodie. And I remembered we went to the train station when we first got in. They had a little mall. So they had a couple of places you can buy sweaters that were on sale. So I was like, let's just go to the mall before dinner. We'll find a sweater or something. And I'm not going to bring my wet coat out. I don't want to get pneumonia. We went there. They had an army surplus store that everything was dirt cheap. I was like, whoa, I got a jacket for like less than $15 that it's like heavy, like I don't even know what the material is, but it's soft and it's green and it's big and baggy and warm. I didn't even need a coat after that. I was like, well, this is nice. And yeah, so we went out for dinner. We went out to shops. Oh, I wanted to get these wool sweaters that have been on my wish list for a while. And I got these really nice wool sweaters that are handmade, and they're really cute. I think they're cute. And they're warm. So I got those too. And I got a couple magnets for my family too at another shop. And then we went to dinner. And then we were watching, you know what's crazy was we were watching on TV it was like a bar restaurant. There was this golf game going on with Tiger Woods and a couple other people. And they're playing golf inside. And it's like those fake golf simulator things where they put it into like a plastic screen, and then it like tells you where the ball's at. Then all of a sudden they start walking away from the screen and they have this mock putt area where they're hitting it into the hole from there. And I was like, they made this into like a sport? Like, what is this? Like, and you can see Tiger Woods all happy, and we're like talking about like, man, we haven't seen Tiger Woods like, I mean, we're not really like golf connoisseurs, but we're like, we haven't seen like, you know, since his last like car accident, you know? And then literally the next day or 2 days later, guess what this man does? Flips his car again. And I don't condone drinking and driving. I don't condone doing drugs and driving, no under the influence at all, because it's very dangerous, not only for yourself, but for others. But man, this guy flips more cars than he does. Like anything at this point. Like, what are you doing with your life, man? Like, you have so much money. Like, you have a career that you've reestablished multiple times, no matter what has bad press has done. He still like has a career, which is crazy. You know, some people have been canceled and that's it. And he's over here just luckily to be alive and doing it again. And it's crazy. It blows my mind. And like, I don't know. I hope it's not just another slap on the wrist for him, because these celebrities get away with everything. But yeah, so that happened while we were there, and we heard about it, and we're like, bro, we just saw him on we just saw him on TV. So that was kind of crazy. And then the next day we left. So it was just 3 days. We kind of explored just a little bit of the town, but I would have liked to explore more, especially the churches. I love seeing the churches and the architecture of these places. I wanted to go to like a couple of bars that I couldn't. Like, there was the one that was the Hobbit, which is a little bit of a Lord of the Rings themed bar, but that was closed. And there was this other bar that kind of looks like Gringotts, and I was like, whoa, like I want to go in there, but we forgot and we didn't have the time. So after that, we went back to Dublin and rested for a couple of days because our bodies were shot from all the walking that we did. And I was like, you know what, let's go to Wicklow. Like, I really wanted to go to Wicklow the last few times and haven't had the chance. So we took buses for like, I think it was about 4 hours too, but I don't think it was 4 hours. But we took buses all the way to Wicklow. They didn't say it was possible, but we did it. Dublin to Wicklow, you could take in buses. And it's like €2, you know, like a bus basically, or less. And sorry, I have pumpkin hair in my mouth. We went to Wicklow. We went to Glendalough. We saw beautiful, like the most beautiful forest I've ever been to in my life. We hiked to the waterfall. So peaceful. Like, I can just like imagine it now. I'm posting clips like here and there on TikTok. And like my camera could not capture how green it was there. It just looked kind of like dull, but it was just so mossy and green and lush and peaceful. Like birds were chirping and like it was just quiet. And we ran into a mountain goat. Guys, a mountain goat. I was like, it's all over. And then I was like, you know what? He's just a little baby. And then he started coming to us, and then he passed by us on a bridge. I got clips of that on my TikTok. And then I was like, listen, I want to see a sheep farm. So we went to a sheep farm. We had to walk there because guess what? Ubers, they don't seem to like me right now. They don't like the middle of the nowhere type stuff. So we had to walk on a road that's like 80 kilometers an hour, type road. And we had to jump into the ditch every time a car was coming so we wouldn't get hit. But it was crazy experience on the way there. And we got to hold baby sheep. And they were such cute little babies, and they were twins, 2 sets of twins that the guy had, and they were huge, like huge babies. I got videos of that on TikTok too. And they were so soft and so loving. And then on the way back, we talked to the owner. He's like, yo, there's a hike you can go through on the way back, because we're like, there's no way we can get a taxi. We hiked back in the most beautiful hike. It felt like it was a fairy tale, like the way the sun was coming through the trees and the light glistening down and like the moss everywhere. And there was like another mini waterfall and a stream and like big rocks, and everything just looked so untouched. I felt like a fairy, and it was just so nice. So then we walked back to where we started, and we found out like halfway through, not where we started, because there was a visitor center actually at the national park that we got to by bus. We went to like another little town, and then we took a couple buses and we got back to Dublin. Everybody's like, you're crazy, you can't go from Wicklow to Dublin. We did it, baby. And we had such a long night, man. Like we got back, it was like almost 10 o'clock at night, and we had some like McDonald's or something. On my trip, we went to the mall. We got Wingstop. We got the Irish Wingstop, really good actually. We got the Irish McDonald's. 10 out of 10 recommend. I'm not a fan of McDonald's, but the Irish beef and the way they make the fries there, just like it tastes like the early 2000s, late 90s type McDonald's. Like that type of vibe. Before they started putting they probably still had a bunch of stuff in it, but before they started messing with a bunch of chemicals and stuff. I got to try a bunch of little treats and delights and chips that I haven't had before. Really like Lucasade. Shout out to Lucasade, sponsor me. That really helped us with all of our hikes, man. Like we really did it. What else? We did so much in such a little time, as usual. I like to try to maximize my trips as doing everything every day. We went to a couple of restaurants that I wanted to go to that were really nice. We got to go to the National Museum, saw these paintings I really wanted to see that was really beautiful. We went to the National Gallery, and then we went to the Military Museum. I forgot the name of it. That was really nice. We went there twice in 2 different days because it's so huge. Like it's barracks, I think, or like it's shaped like a half a rectangle, like a U shaped, and like every part of the floor like has something, and then you go up, and then you has something, and then you go up. It's like three levels, I think. And then there was two other museums there. There was one that was like a zoo, and it was like creatures and animal skeletons and stuff, which was kind of cool. And then it was really small, but it was nice to go around because they showed this deer that was like the deer of Ireland before it was extinct, and it was bigger than a moose. Like the antlers span were huge. Absolutely beautiful. If Ireland wants to bring that back like they did the wolves, like the dire wolves, bring those babies back. Those are crazy deer. But Also, oh yeah, they had the other museum that was, I think, called Asgard, or it was just the ship that's called Asgard off of the property, but still on the property. That was a whole ship inside of a building. Like it did like a voyage from Ireland to the Hamptons, something Hampton. Not the Hamptons in New York. I thought it was at first. I was like, man, this boat had a journey from Ireland to New York, but it wasn't Hamptons, New York. It was Hamptons, I think in England. I could be wrong, or UK. I have to look that up. But yeah, so it was crazy to see an old ship like that. They did restore it. You could go on the bottom floor, and then there was a little bit video, like a 10-minute video or so. You could learn about. You could walk around. But what was so cool about it was these massive like nails that they had, like, I don't know if I think it was cast iron maybe, that you just know some blacksmith made this giant thing for that boat and like had to like hammer that in like crazy back labor. Like I always appreciate like handcraft stuff like that, like carpentry and blacksmith, like thinking about what they did with what little they had and no technology and never doing things before, and they just like, it's gonna work, and it still existed today. It still lasted, and it's a little bit rusty, but hey, it held up for like hundreds of years. It's amazing. Yeah, so I have deep appreciation for that. And we went to some toy stores. We got some Hot Wheels. We got some really sick Hot Wheels. I got obsessed with these foodie ones. There's Hot Wheels that have different food on them, and they're kind of nearby me. I'll show you one of them. This was the hot sauce one. This little guy. I want to get him out the box, and the other ones. There you go. It's like a hot sauce bottle, and it's Hot Wheels, and it's really cool. Sorry guys, I have to get ready for work. I'm trying to speed run this. What else did we do? We just hung out and watched some movies. We played Lego Star Wars, and we got to walk around in nature and had a fun time. And I feel so good, refreshed and energized from that vacation. I really, really, really needed it. It's been a rough life. I was gonna say it's been a rough year, but it's been a rough life. 10 out of 10 recommend touching grass, but 10 out of 10 recommend going to see some waterfalls, being in nature in a more remote area that's like very much untouched, and you can just sit there and spend the day and relax and feel nature, peace, God's presence, and all that. Yeah, so now I'm back, broke and better than ever, and you know what, I don't really have any worries because I know God's got this. Like I said, I hope this helps even one person. I hope this reaches as many people as it needs to reach, and I'm kind of just giving it up to God, you know, like gotta live my best life, peace, love, positivity. I'll work when I can work, and I will post when I can post. And I do need to do more for this podcast, especially making clips and stuff, because I think I was going back on it, like I don't think I've posted clips from podcast episode 6 yet, and I've already done 11 podcasts. This is number 12, baby, which we should have had so many more. There's so many weeks that have went by. It's been over 2 months, I think, since my last podcast. I'm sorry, guys. Check out my other socials to see me when I'm not podcasting. Hopefully I will be seeing you guys more though. And the link tree in my bio for more of my socials. Thanks all so much for your love and support. I appreciate you all so much. Hope to see you guys again soon. Have a great day. Goodbye. Good night. God bless. Bye.